Hey guys, it's Coach Tom. I'm going to do a short video on blisters and my blister kit. So ultra runners, triathletes, runners in general, definitely hikers or anybody else, this comes in pretty handy. So I've got kind of a dry box. I'm just gonna, this is really pretty much rehearsed in the sense that I've used these tons over the years, but it's unrehearsed in the sense that I didn't do any preparation. I just grabbed my blister kit and we're going to work through it here and give you a couple different options. So I've got the Dr. Scholl's blister treatment. They're sterile cushions. They kind of look like that inside, and we'll open that. That's one option. We've got some antiseptic clean wipes. There should be some bacitracin or Neosporin. So I've got some cream here, and then we've got you know, this was at Walgreens. They sell them at REI and different things. This is moleskin padding. This is what we use mostly, and then this is what it looks like outside of the package. So you've kind of got basically these bunion donuts, which will work as well, and you can purchase these in a packet, kind of Dr. Scholl's, and so they've got different diameters. And then here are some different ones that have been cut, probably mistakes, but you'll see that there's different thicknesses of moleskin as well, and we can stack them, stack two to be almost the thickness of this one, or we can play with it and maybe this needs to be just a little bigger, and then we've got another one. So let's kind of cover how we do that, how we work through it. And so basically I've got a marker here, and we're going to take off my running shoe here, and typically one of the places we get, let's see if I can see that you're, yep, so typically we get kind of a blister right here on our heel. So hopefully you can see that, and kind of using a green highlighter to show you. So it might be there. I might get one right out here. These are a little bit tougher. I can get it right on the top of the toe here. You can definitely get it back in here in this calloused area, or even up in here. And some of you may get them in multiple places doing ultras. So what happens when that happens? If you've got some pre-cut, I can basically look for one like a size, and if it's just starting like this, I basically take the tape off the back, and so if it's not broken and there's no issue there yet, and it's just starting to get a hot spot and I can see a little bit of fluid, then what I can do is I can basically cover this like this, and that's going to make the sock and the shoe rub onto the moleskin and not necessarily onto the issue. Now we could take another donut and give a little more padding and put our sock on over the top like that. I can take another piece of moleskin that's thicker. I can also put one of these if I've got a hot spot there. And then basically all we do is we put the sock back on. Now you'll see this Dr. Scholl has been off. It doesn't have great elastic and it wants to come off. I definitely want to show you all these little nuances of what can go wrong. So in that case, the adhesive on the moleskin is really good. So we just slide our sock up over, and it covers that blister, and it won't continue to rub and make it blister more. After you get a blister, if it does puncture open, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and clean it with the antiseptic to make sure that we get it all clean. We can then take some of these wipes, clean that, maybe put a little bacitracin on it, and then what I would typically do in that case is I would go ahead and, let's see, okay, that one's been used. I would take one of these blister treatment pieces, and they're different sizes. This one's really pretty big. I don't want to open it because once it's been opened, it's been used, but we'll do that for you guys. And you can pick up all these at Walgreens, and they'll come in really handy for hikes and ultras. But basically open this up like this, and we can go ahead and we'll use this one as an example. We can go ahead and place that piece right over. Open this adhesive like this. Try to get all of this off. And we're not going to touch the blistering disinfectant and cream spot. We'll put that in, try to get it free of any type of little creases. And now you've got a sliding surface, so it decreases any friction. This is great for this type of joint. If you need to, you can go ahead and take a piece of moleskin and put it over. If you're going to use athletic tape to hold it on, that can become problematic. You can get bunched up and cause more issues, so you've got to be kind of careful. You want to be a little practiced with this, but here is the blister kit right over, and you can see the green blister, so it's clear enough, and it's got an antiseptic in it, and it's made specifically for blister treatment. And like I said, they come in different sizes. And then we've got the moleskin, so then we can put the sock back over, put the shoe on, and off we go, running again without any issues. So that's basically the gist of it. But now let's show you how we might size it and cut it. So in here I've got kind of a sharp, pointy scissors. We definitely want to disinfect this before we put it on. I've got a nail clipper to deal with nails that are coming off, as well as if the blister is open and we want to cut it open a little bit more. Typically we want to, if it does puncture, we want to keep the skin on it. It keeps it from getting infected. Put the ointment on, and then go ahead and put that moleskin over it. So the way we cut the moleskin is, I think I had a piece that was already cut. So this is kind of a thicker one. I'm going to use one of the thinner ones. Basically what we do is, if this is the size of the blister here, I'm going to go ahead and put the moleskin just roughly over it and get an idea of how big it needs to be. So assuming that that blister was on my foot, I might take it out like this. I cut a piece out, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half like this, and I'm going to basically cut a big circle. Always start a little smaller than you think, and this was where it was, and I'm going to place it over. And if I have to make it a little bigger, I fold it back, I trim back those pieces, pull that off, put it right on the foot like I showed you. So that in a gist is what you need. I've got some of the athletic wrap, so that if I'm getting it on my heels and I've got to wrap this also works really well with minor sprains in your ankle. And then obviously having some athletic tape in here, and then a couple packets of different thicknesses of moleskin. This one's got 3 sheets, and then it tells you that it's you know, what the size is, and there's thinner and thicker ones. This one is 111 millimeters thick. You want to go a little bit thicker, and look at one of these and you can see the thickness. You want to have both of them in your kit. I've got they don't say the size on this one, but it's definitely smaller blisters. That's what I put on right on that arch. And then there's a couple of bigger, larger ones, and this one is pretty much the entire size of that. So it's basically double. These are more for, these smaller ones are more for like your pinky toe and something like that, so that you can, as soon as it gets hot, you can stop. And you can put these smaller ones right in your Camelback or hydration pack with a quick scissors. Make sure that you've got them in a Ziploc, some antiseptic, some clean, and as soon as you get that, the quicker you can start addressing it before, say it starts to get hot, hot spot, it's rubbing, you can feel it. You don't want to go another 3 miles back to the aid station or your support crew. Stop right there on the trail, address it, get the comfort, because once it starts rubbing, you start changing your gait. Then you can have hip and knee and foot issues. If you've got Lecky walking poles, take those out, take care of the blister, and take some of the pressure off your feet, and then continue on to your aid station. Have one of your crew members really trained at this. I suggest for ultra runners that you actually do like I just did. I'm gonna run with these on. And if they roll or they don't adhere long enough, we'll start to understand how I need to adjust it. So I have literally run 20, 30, 40 miles with the blister on. I've trained through blisters. They'll heal quicker this way. You won't continue to rub it in your regular shoes. So if you do have blisters after a race, this is also the way to treat them. Hopefully this was helpful. Go ahead and email me or text me with any additional questions. So that's your blister kit, that's your blister tools. Make sure you've got them. A couple of different kits are super helpful.